You don't forget the moment someone tries to erase you from your own home. I wasn't some reckless neighbor causing chaos. I kept to myself. I paid for my house in full. I followed every damn rule. But none of that mattered the second Curran decided I didn't fit her perfect little world. From the minute I moved in, it felt off. Like I was being watched, judged. Turns out I was. And the judge? A woman with a clipboard, a power complex, and a fake smile that could curdle milk. Curran. She was the president of our HOA, unofficial neighborhood queen and full-time tyrant. She didn't ask. She ordered. She didn't suggest. She warned. At first, it was small things. Notes left on my door in neat, passive-aggressive cursive. Your grass is a little long. Trash bins too close to the sidewalk. Porch light is disruptive to community peace. Seriously? I brushed it off, fixed the issues, even laughed at how petty it all was. But it didn't stop. It never stopped. Every week, a new warning. Every week, more nitpicking. Then every time her eyes, watching me, daring me to snap. And then came the letter. Not from her directly. No, this time it was on HO, a letterhead. Official. Cold. Dismissive. I unfolded it, expecting a fine. But it wasn't a fine. It was an eviction notice. I reread it 3 times, an HOA eviction. For a house I owned with no mortgage, no liens, no legal issues. At the bottom, it said, failure to comply may result in foreclosure proceedings. I froze. Foreclosure? Now I was angry. This wasn't just annoying anymore. This was real. Because while most people think an HOA can't do that, this scary truth is some can. If you fall behind on fines, if they pile on late fees, they can force foreclosure proceedings, but not this time. Because Corinne, in all her smug confidence, had no idea who I really was. You see, I didn't just live in the neighborhood. I owned part of it, Corinne's house. The one she bragged about maintaining to community standards. That house belonged to me. She was my tenant, and she had no idea. I opened my records, pulled up the property management file. There it was, lease agreement, signed by Karen herself. My name at the top, her signature at the bottom. I laughed, out loud. She sent me an eviction notice while renting my house. You can't script irony better than that, so I drafted a response. But halfway through typing, I stopped. No, this had to be face-to-face. This had to be personal. I walked to her place, my property, while she was berating another neighbor about their mailbox color. She saw me and smiled like she was the sheriff in some bad western. I assume you got the notice, she said, arms folded. I handed her an envelope. Sure did. Here's one for you. She opened it. Read. Paused. Her expression collapsed in slow motion. This is an eviction? Correct, I said. You're being evicted from my house. The one you rent, the one I own. Silence. You can't do this, she snapped. I'm on the UDA board, I grinned. And I'm your landlord. Being obnoxious isn't protected under the lease. Harassment. Unauthorized modifications to the yard. Using your fake power to go after other tenants? I've got receipts. I leaned in. Step down or move out. Your call. She stared, speechless, the papers shaking in her hand. I turned and walked away, but Karen wasn't finished. Next morning, I get an HOA email. Subject line, illegal eviction violation. Of course, Karen claimed I was abusing landlord rights, violating bylaws. She wanted me fined, punished. I sent a response that was polite but surgical. Karen is not a fellow homeowner. She is a tenant. I am the legal owner of her residence and have followed all landlord-tenant laws in terminating her lease. This matter is not under the HOA's jurisdiction. Further interference will result in legal action against the HOA. Signed, her landlord. Later that day, 2 police officers showed up at my door. "Sir, we received a report of an unlawful eviction attempt." I didn't even flinch. "Let me guess, Curran." They nodded. I invited them in, showed them the lease, the termination, the list of violations, even the HOA nonsense emails. After reviewing everything, one officer sighed. "She's your tenant. You've done everything by the book." The other added, "This happens more than you'd think. Some HOA folks think their power goes beyond reality." I smiled. "Yeah, I've noticed." They left, but before they did, they stopped by Curran's door. I didn't hear the whole conversation, but I caught this. "Ma'am, this is a civil matter. Don't call us again unless there's a real emergency." And with that, her last defense cracked. I filed official eviction paperwork with the court that same week. Karen had 30 days. She didn't leave. She tried more stunts, phony harassment claims, more HOA games, even called a lawyer who probably laughed her off the phone. She thought I'd back down. She thought wrong. Eviction day came. 2 deputies showed up, clipboard in hand, dead serious. I stood across the street and watched. Karen opened the door. "This is my home," she yelled. One of the officers shook his head. "No, ma'am, it's his." He pointed at me. She stared, then turned to me. "We can talk. I'll drop everything. Let's be civil." I shook my head. "We're past that. You wanted me gone. You made this a war. You lost." She stormed back inside, then started destroying things. Picture frames, drawers, furniture, crashing and clattering. "Want to press charges?" One officer asked. I paused. "Only if she breaks something expensive. I just want her out." 15 minutes later, she stomped down the steps, dragging one small suitcase. Her face was red with rage and humiliation. She looked at me like she wanted to scream, to throw one last grenade, but nothing came, because she had nothing left. She got in her car, slammed the door, drove away. And just like that, she was gone. Later that day, I got an email from the HOA. "Due to a board vacancy, we invite you to apply for a leadership role in our community." I laughed for a full minute. No thanks. But I hope Curran hears about it. And I hope she knows that she tried to evict a man who owned her front door and paid the price for mistaking a title for actual power, because in the end, she didn't lose a house. She lost her crown, and just like that, Curran was gone. No more fake fines, no more HOA threats, just peace. If you've ever dreamed of getting the last word, hit like and subscribe for more stories where justice wins and entitled people lose, because this was just one battle. We've got more.